Hey everyone, we only have about 3 days left in the season, but we finally got some troop damage here at 7, and also picked up mortars. Running this compact base like a lot of other people are, and we'll try it a few hits. Now if we can, we want to try doing a bit easier kind of hits, cause next few days are gonna get pretty brutal. Like there's so many boom cannons, gym cannons, and normal cannons to get, and they're pretty deadly against either rocket choppers or bombers. But for these compacts, we're switching to more of an HC bomber style hit. I think that's a little easier. And taking Brick too, because she's really the main thing that's helping us get through them. Especially using her cluster grenade on all these compact portions. And most of the hits are kind of the same way. You're gonna do 2 HCs on the left, 2 HCs on the right. And you can even start with a few smokes just to speed up the early portion. And kind of spread out the bombers and go from there. So I like doing smokes first, kind of where you drop the HCs, so one on the left, one on the right, and then just 2 HCs for each smoke. And that means the heavies that come out first can have a little bit of time to go ahead. And the 4 bombers get brick going, and usually just like 2 shocks. But since there's no boom cannon on the left, we can just do 1 for now. And if there's 2 shields, you can art 1 out. Gonna be 4 of them. And then just start using some clusters. So you get a few going right there. Now we can do 1 shock on that grappler critter launcher. Get a few more clusters out there. But you can see all that damage towards that back end. And then some critters for mines. Maybe not so much on the left side. But everything on the left is kind of looking okay. Get 1 more brick cluster. Another good thing about cluster is she kind of ignores any critters that come out of the critter launcher. Just targets the buildings instead. And sometimes have to watch for annoying rockets, so sometimes an eye on medkits. But like here, as soon as these ERs go down, you can soon start flaring the top side. So get 1 going right there. And we don't care too much about any leftover buildings, like sometimes even rockets are okay. But just try and do a few flares here to get a good split for the rest of the base. Luckily here, Brick was still alive, so can use her for more clusters. Kinda get a decent split, got bombers going both left and right. And on this one specifically, maybe some critters too on the left side. Gonna help speed up that portion because I think the bombers are a little more to the right side. At least Brick is too. So I got bombers on the left, get some brick clusters going, and maybe just a couple arts on the left side. So sometimes being maybe a bit lucky getting like around 2 minutes on this base, but it can vary from like 140 to 2 minutes and see what time we get. But on this one here, just 2 seconds but pulling off the win. Can see what he did too, because 2 minutes is pretty fast in these compacts. Looks like he is going with some HCRC, so I think both can work. Either bombers or rocket choppers, just find one hit that's consistent and kind of go with it. Looks like he's taking Kavan to maybe get some more rifles for the grappler. And otherwise, like going from one side, clearing all the buildings. It's more so about keeping your HCs alive and dealing with those critter launchers. Like sometimes I like Brick because for a cluster, but other times you can always use, like in this case, Kavan's second wind for rifle distracting the critters. Because even if the grappler gets it, rifles die pretty soon anyways. But he had a pretty good hit. And all we really have left in the season is just a few multi-nodes, so I think we might go for 3 boom cannons next because that's pretty nasty. And we get some GBE right before too. So a bit of both offense and defense to help us out. Here we got a compact with double gym cannon, and of course a grappler, 4 critter launchers. But I think we can still try that same kind of hit. Hopefully it still works with 2 doom cannons, but we'll find out. So still doing 2 smokes first, then 2 HCs for each smoke. And of course waiting just a bit, and then getting the 4 bombers across, 2 brick in the middle, and we'll get the 2 shocks going too. And 1 on each side, especially on those boom cannons. And here we can art out maybe the left one, the left shield going, and getting a few clusters across. We'll probably do one shock, let's say right here, get the grappler a few critter launchers. Otherwise, maybe just a few more clusters. Wait till the micro goes down and the sniper tower too. Otherwise, it's kind of perfect going right on the ER. Rocket on the left is being a bit annoying, so we'll do a medkit and critter. And I think brick got grabbed, so we'll do maybe one final cluster. Didn't get a critter launcher, but got a little something. But you can see these bases are getting a lot tougher now, because we got not enough GB to deal with the rest, and still 2 doom cannons and a grappler. So we'll try to get maybe a few more ERs, but looks like that might be it. Like a few more bombers working on the rest, but now there's just so many buildings that you make one mistake or go so quick, you just end up fizzling. And that might not just be because of double doom cannons, base design could help too. But hopefully with the next day or so we'll try to figure out some other ways to deal with it. Again, GBE tomorrow should help out a bit. But still, some of these attacks are just hit or miss. So a really tough end meta. Got a legend player here. At least there's only one doom cannon. Looks like he doesn't want to do too many buildings for kind of avoiding brick. But maybe you can just delay her instead. And a bunch of buildings on this side, because later on it's just a bit longer for bombers to go through. But we can again try the same kind of hit. Do 2 smokes, one left, one right. And get the HCs across. And then waiting just a few seconds, go ahead get the bombers going. And we will delay brick a bit, but do a couple shocks. Let's do one on the left and right boom cannons. And then maybe right now we can go ahead and drop brick. Art out, let's say, right shield this time. And let's get at least one shot going in the grappler critter launchers. Now get some good clusters with brick. Get one critter launchers right there. Boom cannon right behind. Maybe later the machine gun. And trying to get some good value right there. Keep on doing a few clusters. Let's get some critters for that boom mine. And got some rockets being pretty annoying on the left side, so I can medkit those. And we'll do more critters on that machine gun. But you can see right now is like the time where we really want some GB. So why we're kind of going to get that next. But we got the left ER kind of going okay. Maybe one more critter right there. And pretty soon we should just start flaring. All we're waiting on right now is that left ER. So I can go ahead and move on this side. And maybe flare down that flame first and then kind of go for the rest of them. We got that flame going. That's why people want shock mines here too, especially against those bombers. And we'll do one more building flare, maybe get a good split after it. But the good news is somehow brick's alive. So we got bombers on this side, then they're going to go on the right. Just kind of see how the split goes. But I think we got an okay amount going either way. In fact, we can do some brick clusters too. And at least on this space, we didn't fizzle, but we'll kind of see what time we get. Some bombers on the left and right, finishing it off. And maybe just a few more clusters on the left side. One there and maybe a couple arts. So not a crazy time, maybe like a 145-ish. And we'll see if it's okay. Got our 144. And is it going to beat at 2 minutes? We can see what he did. And looks like kind of similar, going 4-4 HC bombers. And that might be another strat too. Not even using smokes, just doing a bunch of shocks early on. And if you notice, he arted out a critter launcher, so that helps out. And it could be our base too, like this middle ER means with bricks cluster you can get a lot of value. So this end meta could also be more about not just what kind of hits you do, but what base you choose. So tomorrow, once we get GBE, maybe we can choose a better base. And especially one where there's more buildings on this side. Because ours is kind of symmetric where once you get a few buildings, there's not too much between ERs. Either way, it might be good enough hits to hit like 24 or so, maybe mid 24. And right now just looks like a couple keys off Sparky. Wouldn't really upgrade her even if we could, but tomorrow with GBE, see if we can try something else. But let me know what you think about this end meta, and it's gonna get pretty brutal the next few days, so see how it goes. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.